Good morning, grade 7 students. In this session, we're going to continue with our chapter about the green plants. And this green plants, part 4 for semester 3, week 32. Already we talked about the absorption of water. We said that which part of the plant is responsible for the absorption of the water? Is it the root or the root hairs or the root cap? We said that the root is composed of root hair and root cap. In this experiment, we have two plants, plant 1 and plant 2. In plant 1, the plant were the root hairs and the root cap. Both of them. This is the root hairs and this part, the small part, is the root cap. Both of them, they are placed in water. So the plant, it grows normally. However, when plant 2, the root hairs, they are placed in oil and the root cap in water. It dies. So what does this mean? Is the root cap responsible for water absorption? Sure not. It's the root hairs, the one that's responsible. Since when we put it in oil, the plant withers and dies. So the root hairs, they are responsible for the absorption. Here is the variable factor, which part of the root, whether the root cap or the root hair is dipped in water. Distinguish the conditions to which the both plants are exposed. In plant 1, the root hairs and the root cap, both of them, they are dipped in water. However, in plant 2, only the root hairs, they are in water, in oil, sorry, while the root cap, they are in water. And let's move now to the analysis. Pay attention to the difference between analyze and interpret. Analyze, it's analysis only. However, interpret, we have to analyze and we have to add an indication. So if you did only analysis in the interpret, this means that your answer is not correct, and this means that you will not get the mark for this part. So pay attention to this. So after dipping the root hairs and the root cap in the water, the green plant, it grows. However, after dipping the root hairs in oil and the root cap in water, the plant, it withers and dies. So what can you conclude? We conclude that the root hairs and not the root cap, they are responsible for the water absorption in the green plant. Let's move now to transpiration. What is transpiration? All of you, you know that the plant absorbs water by the roots. This water will travel up. It moves upward from the roots up to the stem and then to the different leaves. So it moves to the leaves. So water is going to be lost from the leaf pores in the process of transpiration. So the small openings on the underside, you have the leaf. On the underside, we have small openings. These openings, they can't be seen by the naked eye. They need a microscope in order to be seen. These are called stomata. So stomata, they are the small openings where transpiration occurred. These are called stomata. So stomata, they are small openings where the leaves, they lose water vapor. So transpiration, what is the definition? Definition of transpiration, it's the loss of water vapor through some plant organs. So it's the loss of water vapor. So the plant loses water vapor through some plant organs. What are these organs? Let's check. We have two plants here, plant A and the plant B. If I ask you what is the variable factor in this experiment, the variable factor is the leaf. In plant A, we have leaves. In plant B, we don't have leaves. So here we have leaves in plant A, while in plant B, no leaves. So we don't have leaves. So what do? We do? We cover both plants with a plastic bag. We cover them with a transparent plastic bag and we are waiting for the results. After a few minutes, or let's say a few hours if you want, Water droplets, they are formed on the inner walls of the plastic bag covering the plant A. So we have water droplets are formed, while in the plant that is lacking the leaves, what is meaning lacking? It doesn't contain leaves. No water droplets are formed on the inner walls of the plastic bag. Water droplets, it means that we have transpiration. The plant is losing water. Through which part? Through the leaves. So the plant is losing water through the leaves. Why? Because transpiration occurs here when we have leaves, while it didn't occur whenever we lack the leaves in plant B, since we have no water droplets, so no transpiration. So what is the difference between the two plants A and B? Difference is the same as the variable factor. So what is the variable factor? Plant A, it has leaves, while plant B, it lacks the leaves. In which plastic bag is water vapor formed? Water vapor is formed in the plant containing the leaves. So in the plant containing the leaves, we get plant A. And for example, what is the part responsible for transpiration in the plant? What is the part in the plant that is responsible for transpiration? This part is called the leaves. So the leaves is the part in the plant responsible for transpiration. So as a conclusion, what happens for the plant? The plants, they lose water through their leaves. So through transpiration, green plants, they release water vapor through what? Through their leaves. So the water vapor through their leaves. So as a conclusion, the plants, they lose water vapor through their leaves during the process of transpiration. So they lose water vapor through transpiration. To keep in mind, you have to keep in mind these important notes. Autotrophs, from now on, autotrophs, they are green plants. What does this mean? They are chlorophyll plants, meaning that they contain the green pigment, the chlorophyll. However, the heterotroph, they are the non-green plants and they are the non-chlorophyllic, meaning that they are not green in color. They lack the chlorophyll. Moving now to my process, to our important process, which is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. They say here it occurs during day, and I have to add one additional information for this. It requires the sunlight. That's why it needs to occur during day. And it's only for green plants, meaning that for chlorophyllic plants only. So here we have photosynthesis. What is the photosynthesis? It's the process by which chlorophyllic plants, they produce their organic matter, meaning that they produce their food from inorganic matter. From what? From water and from mineral salts. So here the plant doesn't order food. It doesn't order food, or they didn't cook. They produce their food by photosynthesis. Pay attention to this experiment because it's a very important experiment. We place plant A in light and plant B in darkness. So we have two plants, plant A and plant B. So plant A was in light and plant B in darkness. We boil one leaf from each plant. So plant A in light, so we have sunlight here. While in plant B, we don't have sunlight since it lays in darkness. Then we boil one leaf from each plant. We bring a test tube, like shown here. We bring two test tubes, and we boil each leaf from each plant for a few minutes. What is the importance of boiling? Boiling will kill the leaf. So boiling water, it kills the leaf. You have to know this important note. Boiling water, it kills the leaf. Third step, we dip each leaf in a tube of warm alcohol to remove its green color. So we keep them in boiling water, but we bring two test tubes. This is the first tube and this is the second tube containing warm alcohol. This warm alcohol, it has an important role. What does it do? The warm alcohol, it removes the green color of the leaf. It removes the green color of the leaf while keeping the tubes in boiling water. So here we have two important notes. We have two plants, one in light and one in darkness. We put them in boiling water for a few minutes. Boiling water will kill the leaves. This is number one, the first note. Number two, you have to know that the warm alcohol, it removes the green color of the leaf. It removes its green color. So boiling water, I repeat, it kills the leaf. The warm alcohol, it removes the green color. Then step number four, we soften the leaves by dipping them in water. We put them in water. Did you see here? Both of them, they have no green color. They become, for example, like white, for example, in color, not green. Moving forward, step five. Step five, we add iodine solution. This is called iodine test or iodine solution test. It's done to identify the presence of starch. If we have starch. So we add few drops of iodine to each leaf and we observe the color of each leaf. This experiment, as I said, is done to test for starch. So it's done to test for the presence of starch. So we add iodine solution to starch. So we have blue-black color, and sometimes we said it's dark blue color. Blue-black or dark blue, it's the same. Dark blue or blue-black. I prefer to use dark blue color. So dark blue color appears. So whenever we did iodine test and it gives dark blue, this means that we have starch. That we have starch in the plants. Since we have starch, it's the organic matter. So the plant is undergoing photosynthesis. This is the organic matter, and the plant undergoes photosynthesis. So the plant, in order to know if it undergoes photosynthesis or not, we have to do iodine test. Iodine test, it's done to identify the presence of starch. If it gives dark blue, so meaning that we have starch. So if we have starch, so the plant is producing organic matter, so it's undergoing photosynthesis. So dark blue, I will repeat, dark blue color with iodine test. So we did iodine test. If it gives dark blue, this means that we have starch. We have starch, so we have photosynthesis. So you have to link it like this. When we do iodine test, why do we do it? To identify the presence of starch. If we have starch, so the plant is undergoing the photosynthesis process. So the plant, as I said before, it makes its own food by the process of photosynthesis. Photo, it means light. It's not an image, photo. Photo here, it's light. Synthesis, together, or putting together. Putting what together? Let's see now. Photosynthesis, it takes place in the plant's leaves. We said that the photo means light, synthesis, putting together. And we said that photosynthesis occurs in chlorophyll plants. But the meaning of this, it occurs only in green plants, meaning that the plants that contain the chlorophyll. So chlorophyll, it works like a trap. It traps the energy from the sunlight. It holds the energy from the sunlight since photosynthesis needs sunlight. So this energy is very important. This energy from the sunlight, it combines. What the meaning of combines? It mixes carbon dioxide with the water. So it mixes carbon dioxide and water together to give what? To give the sugar which is needed for the plant in order to do the photosynthesis. This sugar is stored as starch. So the plant will store the sugar as a starch and will use it later on. So here the plant will mix or will combine carbon dioxide, CO2, and H2O, the water, to make the sugar, which is stored as a starch. So from now on, you know that photosynthesis, first, it needs sunlight. This is number one. It needs sunlight to occur. That's why it should be during day. Number two, photosynthesis, it needs the chlorophyll to occur since it's only in green plants, so it needs chlorophyll. And also to occur, the plant needs CO2. We need carbon dioxide. These three elements are very important for photosynthesis in green plants. So let's continue to talk about the steps of the photosynthesis process. Light is trapped by the chlorophyll. So the chlorophyll will catch the light, will catch the energy from the sunlight, the pigment that makes the plant green. Energy from the sunlight, it starts the food making process. How? The energy from the sunlight will help to mix carbon dioxide and water. How? The leaf, it takes carbon dioxide from where? From the atmosphere, from the air. And the roots, they take in water from where? From the soil. So the energy from the sun, the energy from the sunlight, it used to put carbon dioxide and water together. So they mix carbon dioxide from the air and water from the soil to make the food, which is sugar, and this sugar is stored as starch. So the plant will store the sugar as starch. So here, if you want to know if it's doing photosynthesis, we use iodine test to detect the presence of starch. Then, what do we do? Oxygen, as we said before, is considered as a product. The plant will give us oxygen in the photosynthesis. So it's considered as a product. It's given up by the leaf out to the air. Photosynthesis, it occurs only in the light, meaning that during the day. And the sugar, as I said before, is turned into starch, where the plant will store it for the use later on. So here we have to know that the reactants and the products, we're going to talk about that in the coming slide. In this experiment, what do we have? We have a leaf that is left in sunlight for 2 hours, but we covered a part of the leaf by this black cover. So this black cover, the light can't reach it. So there is no light. So no light can reach this part. So no light. After 2 hours, we tested for starch using what? With iodine test. The green color that was exposed to sunlight, it gives dark blue. What does this mean? This means that we have starch. While the part that was covered by the black cover, which is this one that looks yellow, this part, it doesn't show a dark blue color. This means that it does not produce starch, meaning that we don't have photosynthesis. So this experiment it showed that light is important for photosynthesis. Without light, no photosynthesis occur. So here is the word equation of photosynthesis. You have to know, and you took this in chemistry, I think, that these that are located before the arrow, this is the arrow. This arrow meaning gives. Before the arrow, they are called reactants. Before the arrow, they are called the reactants. While after the arrow, they are called the products. So these are called the products. So here we have reactants and we have the products. What are the reactants? They are carbon dioxide and water. What are the products? They are sugar and oxygen. Sugar is going to be stored in the form of starch, but pay attention. We have an important element here, the light energy. We have to write it. Maybe I'm going to ask you, write the word equation of photosynthesis. You have to write carbon dioxide plus water. The arrow said that the arrow means gives, but we have to use only the arrow gives sugar plus oxygen. So here the light should be written. You have to write light energy over the arrow because light energy is important. Without light energy, the process of photosynthesis will not occur. So this is about the photosynthesis, about the process of photosynthesis, and about the different elements needed for the process of photosynthesis. Now I'm going to move to your questions. If you have any question, just raise your hand in order to give you the permission to speak. Yes, waiting for your question, guys. Questions? Yes, I need your questions. Your questions. Questions, 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 questions. I'm ready to answer your questions. No questions, everything's clear. Questions. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to ask him questions about it. Okay? So the one who knows, just raise your hand. First question. What is the name of the test that we use it to identify the presence of starch? Yes, Neen Khalifi.
Iodine test.
Iodine test. Very good. Thank you. What is the role of hot or warm alcohol? Yes, Rihab. What is the role of the warm alcohol?
Can you repeat the question?
What is the role of the warm alcohol, the hot alcohol? What is the role of this? Yes. Yes, Lamar, what do you think? What is the role of the hot alcohol?
It removes the green color from the plant.
To remove the green color from the leaf. Very good. Now, the third question for Sari. What is the role of boiling the leaf in hot water? Boiling water. What is the role of boiling the leaf in the water?
It kills the leaves.
It kills the leaf. Very good. Jude, what do you think about the plant? The plant, they need sunlight to make photosynthesis or they don't need
Yes.
sunlight? Yes. What do you think?
Sorry, Ustaz, you're glitching. Can you repeat the question?
What do you think? The plants, they need sunlight or
Ustaz,
they don't need?
you were glitching. I couldn't hear.
I'm repeating the question, Julie. So what is
They
the,
need.
what do
They
they
need
need?
sun.
They need sunlight. Okay, thank you very much. Razan, what is the name of the test, ya Razan, that is done to identify the presence of carbon dioxide? How can we know that we have carbon dioxide?
Lime water test.
Very good. Can you give what is if you have carbon dioxide, what does it give? And if you don't have, what does it give?
If we don't have carbon dioxide, it stays clear, but when
Yes.
we have carbon dioxide, it turns turbid.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Razan. So this is the lesson. The lesson of the plants is related to each other. So we can study one lecture and skip the other lectures. So the plan, they are all related to each other. That's why you have to review all the notes related to the plans whenever you have to study for a quiz. Okay?
Yes, Ustaz.